This is a picture of Bethel Baptist Church. And a picture of the parents of Mrs. Martin. And that picture was taken at home, right?
It's at the house.
At the house. And
James
that's
Revis, and that's Mr. and Mrs. James Revis.
Mr. and Mrs. James Revis. And that's in Cottesville.
Cottesville, in front of the church.
In front of Bethel Baptist Church.
Right.
And he was one of the guards for the church.
Yes, he was an officer.
Officer.
A movement officer of the church, and plus they guarded on his, from his porch.
Okay. All right. This is an interview with Mrs. LaVerne Revis Martin for the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute's Oral History Project. I'm Dr. Horace Huntley. We're at the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute. Today is July 17, 1996. Thank you, Ms. Martin, for taking time out of your schedule to sit and talk with us today about the movement.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yes. Just like to start by asking you a couple of general questions about your past, your background. Were your mother and father from Alabama?
My father was from Mississippi, and my mother was from Birmingham, Alabama.
So, what part of Mississippi was
Meridian.
Meridian? Okay. And he moved from Meridian?
Yes, he was in Sumter County, and he moved from Sumter County to Birmingham.
Birmingham. Okay. And you were born here in Birmingham?
I was born and raised in Birmingham, in Collegeville.
In Collegeville. Okay. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have 6 sisters and 1 brother.
And a big family. And where do you fit into?
I'm the baby girl.
Oh.
There's 1 boy, and he's the baby of all.
Oh, okay. So you have a lot of people who give you orders.
That's right. Everybody gave me orders.
You say you were raised up in Cottesville.
I sure was.
What elementary school did you start?
I went to Hudson.
Hudson Elementary School. Okay. What do you remember about Hudson?
It was fun. It was like everybody in the neighborhood was there. There was no busing at the time. So you knew everybody anyway because everybody lived in that community.
Yeah. Neighborhood school.
It was a neighborhood school. A lot of fun.
Yeah. Shelley Stewart went to Hudson.
He did.
Yeah.
And he also attended Bethel Church when we were growing up.
Is that right? So you knew him?
I knew him from
You know Hudson? Oh, okay. So you probably remember when he first started on there.
Yes, I remember everything about that.
Is that right?
We're friends.
Oh, okay. Very good. In growing up in Cottesville, what kind of community was Cottesville?
Well, it was a nice community, very nice and very quiet. It was mostly just homes, just several homes when I was small.
Right.
That was before time of the project.
Yes.
It was just homes everywhere until they tore the homes down. They built the project.
What kinds of occupations do people have that live in Cottesville?
Well, that live there, that come out of Collegeville?
No, that live
That live there in
or-
the town?
Yes.
Okay. They were just mostly a lot of school teachers, you know, and nurses. A
Okay.
lot of nurses and school teachers.
Very
That
good.
was the role models out there.
Okay. What type of work did your mother do?
My mother owned the cleaners, social cleaners.
And what did your father? What kind of work did your father do?
My father worked at U.S. Pipe.
Okay.
Foundry.
Right. How much education did they have?
Well, my mother finished Parker, the industrial high school.
Okay.
And my father stopped at the 4th grade.
Okay.
He stopped to take care of his,
Right.
help take care of family.
Yes. So your mother's business then became sort of a family business? Did you ever work in that business?
Every day.
Every
Just
day.
no pay.
No pay.
Yeah, my mother had big cleaners and my grandmother had a business. So it was always something for us to do. So we grew up working and with the public.
Yeah. What kind of business did your grandmother have?
Well, they had a restaurant, little cafe and stuff like that.
Okay, so you were surrounded by entrepreneurs.
That's right.
Yeah. And you left Hudson and went to Parker.
I went
Is
to
that right?
Parker. I went to the annex
Okay.
and then to Parker.
Okay. What was the annex?
It was the little houses that they had, that we had school in.
Yeah.
Very
And
nice.
that was because of the number of students you had at Parker.
Right,
You had to have.
everybody had to go to Parker.
Right. That's right. What do you remember about Parker?
Well, I remember a lot of things. I was in the choir. And also, just once I remember being the most popular queen of high school. So, you know, that was a highlight in my day. And I took business there and sewing, dressmaking and designing. That was something I loved to do.
Did you use that in your mother's business after you finished, while you were going to school?
Well, I did. I did a lot of sewing for the in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I did do a little repair.
Right, right. Okay. And what did you do after high school?
Well, after high school, I went to State Vocational Trade School.
Mm-hmm.
My dad had told me I had to go to school or get a job. So I decided to go out to State Vocational Trade School and further. I went on into dressmaking and design again at the time.
Right, right.
After that, I got married.
Okay. And started your family.
Yeah, I have 4 children. 2
Four
boys
children.
and 2 girls.
Mm-hmm. Grandchildren?
I have 12.
Oh, you're really blessed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. In the area that you live right next, is it next door or across the street from Bethel Baptist Church?
Right across the street on the corner.
Okay. And your father was actively involved in the movement. What was how was he affiliated?
He was on the executive board in the movement.
Of the Alabama Christian Movement.
Yes,
Right.
he was.
So was he one of those individuals that initiated, helped to start the
Yes, he was.
organization?
He sure did.
Okay. So then that meant that you really had no alternative but to be involved.
No, my father was totally involved in the movement, and when living in Collegeville, he was president of the Parker Recreation Board, so we were always involved.
Okay. He was president of the Park and Recreation Board?
Yes,
Was that a board in Collegeville?
that was the park, the
Okay.
one park we had in
Okay.
Collegeville.
Okay, so he was the director of that particular park?
Yes, he was.
Okay. So your family then seemed to be one that would be looked up to by others in the neighborhood.
They were well known, everybody out there knew him.
Okay. So he was known as an activist.
He was, he even, when he retired, he went into the cleaners business. He helped my mother pick up clothes all over the neighborhood and everything. So he was always involved.
What other kinds of activities was he involved in with the movement?
Well, he was there for all the planning committees and all the programs that were set up. We went to the march in Montgomery. He and I went together. And
This was the march
we went
from
on the
Selma to
bus.
Montgomery?
We went on the bus from Birmingham,
Right.
and then we marched after we got to Montgomery.
Okay. Well, let's back up just a bit because a lot took place before 1965.
Oh yeah.
What about you now living so close to the church? The church was bombed on several occasions.
Right.
Were you witness to any of that activity?
Well, the first bombing, I was living in Chicago, and I discovered the bomb that went off before it went off when Johnny L. Lewis moved the bomb. I alerted them when I was coming home from work. Aaron Lomax was my boss, and he brought me home. As he went to put me out, I saw all the smoke up in the corner on the side of the church. Of course, I was away the first time, so I was always looking for that bomb. And I went, my parents had a little house, little room that they closed out on the front of the porch, just so they could watch, for the guardian to watch out there. And I alerted them, and I went around to the back.
So this is the second bombing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What year was that? The first one was in 56.
Not exactly sure.
Probably right after that.
Mhm.
Okay. Was this at night when you came?
It was that night, it was like 4 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
And nobody was sitting on the front in the little room that, was my dad had built for them.
Right.
They were right on the back, that's why they missed it. So I went around there and told them it was a bomb out there. So immediately,
And who do you remember the men that were guarding that night?
I don't know exactly who I was out there, but Johnny L. Lewis, which was known as Will Hall,
Right.
and Colonel Johnson, they came out and they went toward the bomb. And I was standing on the porch. And Johnny L. Lewis lifted that bomb up and put it in the street. And Colonel Johnson was right behind him, but Johnny L. picked it up himself by himself and put it in there. And it went off, made a big hole in the middle of the street.
Did you see it when it went off?
Mhm.
Actually,
I saw it. Instead of running across the back, I was out on the front porch. My parents and my children was inside.
Were there any injuries?
My daughter, Kimberly, she was a baby at the time. And she was laying on the bed and glass just was all around her, and she has a cut on her forehead that resulted from that. So when I looked around, I tried to find her, I couldn't find her. One of the neighbors had carried her to the hospital.
Oh, is that right?
Miss Ernestine, she carried her to the hospital. And I went from hospital to hospital trying to find my baby. But they stitched up and everything. But she has that scar.
Right. Then you attended mass meetings also.
I attended the mass meetings.
Can you describe what a mass meeting was like?
Oh, it was just something that you'll never forget. It was like the meeting we would always sing, "We Shall Overcome." And a minister would be from different churches. And there were times we'd go from church to church, to the meetings and everything. It was always somebody out there guarding, trying to keep us alive. But they were fun.
Did you go on a regular basis?
Oh, I went every Monday.
Every Monday. How did you get there?
My dad.
So your dad was going to be
He
there.
was always there.
Were other brothers and sisters involved as well?
Yeah, Robbie, my sister Robbie Smith, she's a Smith now. And my brother James Revis, my sister Alfreda. We all, went to the meeting.
Did you participate in demonstrations?
Yes, I did.
What was it like participating in a demonstration?
Well, I went to Woolworth and sat at the lunch counter, and it just so happened I was there when there was a white gentleman that hopped and spit in the man's face that was next to me. I was real glad it wasn't me. I know I'm not wrong. I was glad it wasn't me. And also I went to Baptist church that was over on 26th Street, right next to
before you go to that, tell me about the experience at the sit-in. You say a man spat in the face of a black man that was sitting there next to you. What happened?
He was smiling. He's smiling. He didn't do anything. He was non-violent. And he did what we were supposed to do. He just smiled.
Are you suggesting that you were glad that it was him because you don't know that you could have been non-violent in that case?
I don't know. I would have hoped I could have been, but he did the right thing.
How many of you were sitting in like that?
I would imagine about 10.
Did they close the restaurant?
No.
Did they serve you?
They served us. They didn't want to serve us, but at that time they did serve us.
They did serve.
He just didn't want to be sitting beside us.
Okay. So there were no arrests?
There were no arrests made.
Okay. How did you prepare for that sit-in? Was there any instructions given at the mass meeting or after the mass meeting or just prior to going? How did that all transpire?
Well, they prepared us. We already knew that we were non-violent. So there were different groups going different places. And it just so happened that my group went to Woolworth. So we were going in different directions. So that was just one of my experiences. You know, like sitting in lunch counters, and then on Sunday they did a thing for churches, different churches.
Okay, did you sit at lunch counters more than that one time?
Yeah, I did. I sit in at Newberry's with no incident though. That was just the only one that had the incident.
Were you ever involved in any of the mass marches during the '63 demonstrations from the church?
I was always in the marches.
What was that like?
Yeah.
What was that experience
It was
feel like?
it was an experience. It was something that I grew up next door to a shoulder. Even with my father and Reverend Shoulder, I just knew I had to do what I had to do. And I knew what was right to do and what I believed in. And I had no problem doing that. Because I knew it would be a change. And we had to make the difference. So it was what I needed to do.
Right. Now, you mentioned another event that you were involved in where the churches were concerned. Can you describe that? What was that about?
Yeah. One Sunday morning we were supposed to be going to 11 o'clock service. And when we got up the steps, there was a white gentleman that came to the door. And he was well dressed, and we were well dressed too. So he said that we segregated here. He couldn't even pronounce the word, and he wouldn't let us in. So we didn't do anything, we just turned around and left. That's the way we were instructed to do.
How many of you participated in it?
It was approximately about 20 that went there, to that particular church.
Oh, I see. Were there, he was the only person the only white person that was there? That came to the door?
He was the spokesman for the little group that came.
Oh, I see. Do you remember how many men and how many women were with you?
I don't know, just to break it up, but I said it was about 20 of us that went.
But it was both male and
Male
female?
and female.
Did you attempt to go to other churches?
We were just assigned to that one church, or that day.
Do you remember the name of the church?
It was right next to Caraway Hospital, and it was that big church on the corner.
Oh, okay.
Baptist.
On 26th Street.
Yes.
Okay. But without incident, nothing.
No, we left.
Mhm.
We were trying to do that.
What other activities were you involved in as relates to the movie?
Well, I was there when everybody went to jail. My father went to jail, and my sister went, Robin Smith. She went to jail also. I was there at the church, at 16th Street Church. It just so happened that I didn't get arrested. Not that I wasn't there in the way, but I didn't get arrested that particular day or anything of that. But as far as when the girls in the bombing, at 16th Street,
Right.
Denise McNair, her parents was affiliated with the cleaners that my mother was affiliated with. They did the cleaning for her. So that was Mr. Pickett's granddaughter. So I knew her personally. I attended that funeral, and somewhere on the front page of that, my picture got on the front page somehow, coming down the steps.
What was it like attending that funeral?
It was hard. It was just awesome. It was something that you don't ever forget. Just,
Now, where was the funeral?
it was, they had it on, I believe on 6th Avenue.
6th
At a
Avenue.
church over there.
6th Avenue Baptist on the south side.
Probably so.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't at 16th Street, Harrisburg.
Right. So you also attended the march from Selma to Montgomery, the voting rights. You took buses from here
Yes.
to Montgomery,
Montgomery.
and then you marched there.
Mhm.
As you look back on those experiences, how do you think they impacted upon your life?
Well, I think that those were experiences that I'll never forget. It makes a difference when I see someone in positions, in great positions, or I felt good when I had my office and employees, both black and white, working under me in different capacities at different times in my life. I've been in management a lot. But it made me feel good to know that had we not marched, had we not done all those things, we would never have gotten to be in the positions we're in. You know, because out of Collegeville, there's doctors that has come out of there, and lawyers and everything that has come out of Collegeville. So it made a big impact. Plus, it gave us the responsibility to know that we had to make it. It made a difference. I was there once when Reverend Shuttleworth, you know, the bus came down with his kids, the school bus. And I went out and told them that they didn't even let the kids out in front of the house. The bus just passed his house and went all around the corner. So he got in his car and went around by Hudson School and stopped the bus. Turned them around and made them take the kids back home. That was just something to see.
Now this was when his children were, where were they going to school?
They were coming from Parker.
Coming from Parker.
Mm-hmm.
And they were riding the special.
Exactly.
So what did that experience mean to you?
It meant that he was in control. It meant that he was in control, and it was so wrong for them not to let them out of their house. And that was just being prejudiced. And that's what we were trying to get away from.
How would you describe Prince Oldham?
I would describe him as the bravest person that I know. And I would say, in all walks of life, I would say that he had courage to do anything and everything. And if he made up his mind that he was going to do it, he did just that. And as a pastor, he was a very good pastor, very good minister, preacher. And he went out a lot, you know, but he always think of home, you know, and be back there. I remember the experience when he and his wife was beaten at Phillips High School, chained and beaten. And then that's the school my children attended.
That's very ironic.
Yes. That's the school I worked hard in on the PTA and Band Booster Club and stuff like that.
In 1957, though, you couldn't
even
go there at all. How well did you know his children?
Oh, they live next door.
So they were.
I still know them well. Yeah, we're still friends.
Of those relationships that developed during the struggle, do you ever get together with any of those people that may have left here and may return periodically?
Yeah, the Shuttleworth was here a few weeks ago, but I always hear from them, see them, and we visit and everything. And there are a lot of people from the movement, like Cleo Kennedy, you know, and Gay, and just all of them. You know, we still know each other, and we're still friends.
Are there ever efforts to get everybody together to reminisce over old times?
We haven't had a movement for, you know, just a plain gathering, reunion.
Right.
But there are times that things come up, you know, that the movement people are there. You know, anniversaries and different things like that. And you'll see old members come back.
Who are some of the other people that stand out in your mind that were active during the movement days?
Well, I say that I used to go down to the meetings. Julia Range, she worked as secretary of the movement, and Jessica Brooks always worked as one on the executive committee. She had a floor shop here. And Reverend Garden, of course, and the choir. You know, all of that, that was real good. Mr. Mac Robinson, just a lot of them people in Collegeville, they went faithfully to the end, you know, just till they died. It's still faithful. Now, there was a lot of people in our neighborhood, you know, that went to jail. Frances White, well, she was a foster at the time. Virginia Clark and Deacon
Were most people that were that were members of the church and in the community, were most people involved?
There were a lot of people so scared. They were so afraid, and they wouldn't come their way. the parents was afraid and they didn't allow, even the children that wanted to, they didn't allow them to participate. They did not. But there were a lot of people that, even now saying they was a part, there was nowhere around.
Is that right?
But, you know, a lot of parents didn't allow their children to go. But I was fortunate. My parents was involved, so I didn't have that problem.
Did your mother attend the meetings as well?
My mother didn't attend the meetings. She was always there. My mother was like a quiet person. She was always there with the babies and lending a helping hand and with her business, but she did not attend the meetings. But she was supportive of the meetings.
Your father also served as one of the guards. Did he ever guard the churches and homes?
Yeah, he guarded. He sat out there and he guarded his shift too. I take turns. I guard my shift too.
Oh, you were a guard as
I
well?
used to guard. I sit right out there with them, sure.
Were you all armed?
That's the Brooks used to come out there and guard.
Is that right?
Yeah. And Miss Minnie E, you know, different ones like that. Come out there and sit.
Was anyone armed?
Yeah.
So what would you do? What would you do if you saw someone doing something?
Well, we tried to alert the police department that was there, because I know after that bombing that I discovered, Bo Conn was on that railroad track coming from the back, so he was in our neighborhood 4 days in the morning for some reason. But I would think that if we called for help, that's the basis of what all we could do, because we was supposed to be nonviolent, and we were supposed to be nonviolent. So
you had mentioned that after the bombing, the police came to interrogate you. What was that?
oh, yeah. After I discovered the bomb and the bomb went off, I was just horrified. The police came and they wanted to insist that I go down to take a lie detector test, because they said that I must have planted the bomb, put the bomb out there. My family and also myself, I was out there too. And that's when my dad was very outspoken, very firm. And when he spoke, you listened. He told me that I was not going down there that night. He said, you see the shape she's in? She's upset. He said that we'll think about it, and if I decide, she'll come down tomorrow. And I went down and took the lie detector test the next day. And they put me through an ordeal. They really asked me a lot of questions, but they really was trying to say that I planted the bomb, and also Mr. Lomax, my boss, they were saying that we must have put a bomb out there. I said, it was in a 5-gallon can, and the bomb was down in there. But I passed the test.
What kind of questions did they ask you?
It was all kind of questions. They wanted to know our background, you know, and then they went on to ask me about over and over did we put the bomb out there, you know, and what did we do afterwards, just exactly word for word. But I told them for sure I didn't put the bomb out
Were you the only one that took lie detector tests?
there. Mr. Lomax, my boss, Alan Lomax. He would bring me home, so he had to take it to.
Where were you working at the time?
I was working in a little restaurant. I was manager for that little restaurant. It was Max on. He would bring me home. They had the little small cafes then.
Right.
So that's what it was.
Where was that located?
It was in Collegeville. It was on back in near where Carver High School is now, but it wasn't there then.
We've covered a lot of territory. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us that may relate to the movement or to you personally?
Okay, I'd like to say that after the bombing, one of the bombings, not that in particular, my sister, Alfreda, she was trying to come, you know, we were trying to come to the house to see if my parents was hurt, to see how they were doing. And they had everything up there. They almost put us in jail for trying to, she and her husband was trying to get up to the house. They almost went to jail for trying to get up there to see what was going on.
The police were not allowed
They were not allowing
block the
them to
street.
go that way either, even though the family was still up there at the house. So after that journey, they almost went to jail for that. So
Were you there? Were you at the house?
I was at the house.
Mhm. But they were not allowed
Right.
to get there.
They weren't allowed. They almost went to jail for it because they were very rude out there. You know, acting like we were the enemy. You know.
So the police then, I know in many cases, some cities, there's a slogan on police cars that we're here to protect and serve. Would you look at the Birmingham Police Department as being there for that?
No, they were not there to protect and serve. Actually, if you saw police at that particular time, and you could outrun them, the best thing was to do that. Because they were actually putting their hands on top of the cars and doing awful things to people at the time. So, no, they wasn't there for that reason.
Did you ever witness any of the incidents with police? Did anyone ever tell you about something that happened to them personally?
Well, only thing I can say, I was stopped once, and they had me to put my hands over the car. You know, I never drank, anything, so they couldn't get me with alcohol or anything like that. But they searched me, right out there in the street. And I didn't have any weapons on me or anything. They talked nasty to me, saying some, vulgar things to me, but they did turn me loose.
Were you alone?
I was alone. And once again, I was coming down by A.G. Jackson, by the college. And one of them got behind me. So I just put my foot on the gas and outrun him and just circled into some little corners that I knew he would be for me. And lost him because I would never get caught out, in that position.
Right. That was at night.
That was that night.
What role did Shelley play in the movie?
He did everything on that radio. He kept everything going. He did all the, he did a lot of commercials, He told all about the movements, what the meetings was going to be and everything, for people to get involved. I remember he was always around. Even when they named the street after Reverend Fred Shellsworth, he was right there in the middle of that. Because I was there too. But he was right in the middle of it in his own program. So he's always been around.
Well, Ms. Monroe, thank you for taking time out of your schedule. I know you need to get back to work, so maybe at some later date we'll be able to do this again, but you've been very helpful.
Okay.
Thank
It
you.
was been a nice thing to just to meet you and to be here in such a great